Hey everybody, welcome to Season 3 of Song Revolution. Get ready to ramp up your songwriting. Hey everybody, John here. Welcome back to Song Revolution. You are the reason that we do this show. We're very grateful that you will join us every week. Like and share every episode if you find it beneficial to your creative community. And if you don't have a creative community, we want to invite you to check out NCS Community. You can read all about it at NashvilleChristianSongwriters.com. This is September, and we're talking about music publishing. Do you need a music publisher? And the answer may be different than you think. So I'm joined today by Claire Bacon, the woman with the perfect last name, and Bryant Urich. We spend a lot of time together here at NCS, and we have a great time. If we can keep from laughing, we can get through the show today. But
Bryant Urich has a great last name, too.
He does. He does.
It's fine.
Bryant Urich.
Urich. I like
Has
that.
anybody
Yeah.
ever called it Bryant Urich?
Oh, yeah. We get it all. Ulrich, Urich.
Yeah.
Somebody called me Lars Ulrich one time, which is like the
Ulrich.
drummer from.
Where's the L come from?
Oh, there you go.
I don't know. It's just it just finds its way in there. I don't know. Urich.
So in our last show, we tried to kind of bring the distinction between the grand picture of publishing, what it means to actually record, release, promote songs on, we do it today through DSPs, digital service providers like Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, etc., the YouTube. And we also talked about some of the nuts and bolts of publishing. But I thought it might be fun today to talk a little more about some of the stories behind publishing. I'm going to start with Claire today because Claire is a graduate of Middle Tennessee State University, which is an excellent music business publishing record label school. And then you went to work for Bethel Music here in Nashville, and then Pure Mosaic Music before God so graciously brought you to us this year. But how did you get into publishing? Why is it interesting to you? And what are some of the stories that you could share from your few years already?
Yeah, well, I went into MTSU knowing I wanted to work in music business, but didn't realize how many different things encompassed or made up music business. I mean, there's management, there's touring, there's sound and production, there's law, there's entertainment law, and then I learned there's publishing, and that kind of perked my ear up a little bit. And then I learned that there's, even within publishing, there's creative publishing and administrative publishing. So administrative being number crunching, royalty tracking, accounting, basically. And creative publishing is developing songwriters, putting writers in rooms and getting to critique songs. And that really, really interests me. So yeah, I kind of specialized my major to be music business with a publishing focus. And yeah, that's how I kind of started learning things. But I applied for an internship at Bethel Music. Although they're based in Redding, California, they had a Nashville office. And did not think I was going to get it because it's Bethel Music. But it was a creative publishing internship, so I thought I got nothing to lose by just applying. And then by the grace of God, I got it. And I learned so much just about like catalog management. Every single songwriter who writes and is signed to Bethel Music as a songwriter sends the songs that they write over to the publishers. And I was in charge of organizing all of that in one platform. And it was so interesting just to like hear little raw demos of Jen Johnson singing songs and Josh Baldwin. And I got to learn how to critique a song with my boss then, Robbie Busick. And the rest is history. Now I'm here.
I think that's so cool, and we are very glad you're here. But I love the distinction between the administrative and the creative side of publishing. I think that's really very cool, and you're excellent at what you do in setting up rights. We're working with a number of artists here I get all choked up when I talk about art. Actually, it's like every time the microphone's on, I don't know what it is, it's some kind of psychological weirdo thing that's going on. But anyway, I suddenly sound like I'm 97. But yeah, so I love the distinction there because you're working with, we have a young artist named Annalise, and you're setting up a lot of great rights for her. And other folks, you set rights up for me and for Bryant, and so I love that. Just love that perspective. That you're helping them experience more by getting in rooms with people they might not normally get in with.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun because it's matching personalities and different strong suits. I mean, Bryant, your writing strong suit could be different from John's, and then putting you both in a room together, you each you create the circle and create the whole because you're so good at your each individual parts, and so it's a puzzle to kind of put people together, which is really fascinating to me. And you start learning who everyone's strong suit is in your area.
Mine is definitely Celtic polka.
Which makes you incredibly fun to schedule rights for.
Can you sing us a little sample of what that is?
I opened myself up for that, didn't I? You drop a polka beat and I'll
my accordion's at home, so you can't.
I always think of,
I don't know.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? Is that the one where John Candy's with the polka band? No. It's Christmas, Home Alone.
Everybody got it from that. Home Alone.
It's Home Alone. Remember, the mom is trying to get back to Milwaukee or wherever they're from, and she winds up with John Candy and the polka band. Y'all, you're acting like you don't know the reference.
It's been so long. I need to have to rewatch
Kyle's
it.
getting it.
That just came out of left field. That's funny. Oh man, it's not Christmas yet.
It's not Christmas, but it feels like it. But so back to strong points here for a second. Yeah. So getting in the room with Bryant is fun because he pulls out the keyboard, where the Nord is, the Lord is, and pulls out the Nord and starts dropping a beat. We've had writing camps here. We've had a number. This is getting out of hand.
This is getting wild really quick.
We've had wonderful retreats. We're actually on the cusp of our October retreat. And we're already, as of today's recording, we're almost full, which is exciting. But we get people in writing rooms, who've never written together before at all. And we really challenge them to come out with a full song. And it's really been fascinating to see that. But Bryant, why don't you talk a little bit about the retreats and how, as a coach, how you lead that writing room?
I love, like you said, Claire's distinction, creative publishing, and just the matchmaking almost that is, like, because it's so important. I mean, I've been in rooms where that dynamic is off, and it's like the worst couple hours of my life, because you're butting heads, or your ideas are totally different, or you all have the same strength and you're just all trying to do the same thing. And so there's not this like, and I think as you get more seasoned as a writer, you learn how to kind of adjust and flex in those situations to kind of fill in the gaps for what's needed. But I mean, a well-rounded co-writing session could look something like someone who's a little more producer, arranger oriented.
The track guy.
The track guy.
Or gal.
Yeah, or gal. Yeah, let's give the gals a chance. But it could be producer minded, arranger who kind of has the bigger vision for the song. And then maybe a lyricist who's really good with words. And then a top liner, like a melody vocalist person. To me, that kind of makes up the whole picture, right? Because you can lean on each other's strengths. So even in our retreats, that's what we try to do, is match the right people. Make sure we're not going to create like a stalemate situation where everybody is trying to sing and no one has any words. Yeah. Or no one has the ability to play, accompany on guitar or piano. So yeah, I think there's definitely a level of strategy. And on the creative publishing side, if you're a publisher, you're working with a publisher, they're going to help you kind of figure out your strengths as a writer and put you in scenarios where you can win, versus the opposite. But yeah,
I think that's so good. In the show we did 2 weeks ago on this topic, we talked about, whether you need a publisher or not. And I think that having a publisher is awesome if they take this creative approach and understand what it means to pair you with someone who has strengths that you don't have. Like when we do the retreats, we always make sure that there's a great musician in the room. You're not necessarily recording in the studio on the gear, but maybe you're here in the podcast studio or in my office or another room. You've got a guitarist, or a keyboardist, and somebody who can help guide the melody direction of the song while people are throwing in lyrics and you're figuring out what the song is going to be about, right? So if you have someone that can help you set up those rights, it's great. But if you don't, then it's pretty much up to you to figure that out. Maybe to come up with a creative community in your own church or your own town, go to music stores, find out where writers are, go online, and I don't know, just figure out where those groups are. Facebook has been kind of a popular place for that. Do people use Facebook much anymore for finding songwriting groups?
I mean, I've seen personally, so there's a specific group here in Nashville called the Young Entertainment Professionals. They're called YEP. And a lot of times there are people who will post, hey, I just moved here to the Nashville area. I write in this vein, this genre. Would love to get with some people who are also writing. And there's a ton of comments of people being like, would love to. And they're kind of sitting there setting up their own rights. So it's definitely still exists.
What would it feel like to have 52 weeks of access to the right people in Nashville? People who've been making music for decades. People who can answer every question that you have about what pro-level music making is all about. Well, you can get that and more by joining NCS Community. Our community is a group of worldwide dedicated Christian songwriters who want what you want, to glorify God with your gifts and to get your music out there. I hope that you'll consider joining NCS Community today. So these days, we're really, unless you're with a company, unless you're fortunate enough to have that, it's really on you to be your publisher and to learn the DIY techniques.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you're putting songs out on DSPs or on YouTube and you're not set up to collect any sort of, royalty or distribution, if something were to take off and have a substantial amount of listens or streams or whatever, you want to make sure you're collecting, or someone's collecting. You want to make sure it's you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's dig into that just a little bit more, because so many people do record songs in their home studio or whatever, or even they go to a studio and record and then they put a song out, right? I think two things I'd like to talk about. Number one, there's a sea of mediocre songs out there, and you want to make sure that you're not just throwing another song out there that nobody's ever going to care about. Spotify releases millions of songs every year. I think it's like 160,000 a day. It's insane. And there are millions of songs that are never listened to. They never get one like or one share. And so where I feel we come in at NCS is we've become a voice for quality control. Like if you're competing against millions of people, why not at least make sure that your song is worth recording first, especially if you're going to spend money on it. And secondly, that you're supporting it in some way, giving people a reason to consume your material, because there's so many people that feel like if they just throw a song out there that millions of people are going to look at it, and they don't. They just don't. There's just way too much competition. So we try to step in and be quality control to help you grow your material to the point where it's really worth recording, putting that kind of money into before you set it out to sea. It's just crazy, So we're trying to bring that back, but educate people on how to become more effective and how to develop their artistry, their songwriting, the way they're presenting, because it is more DIY. You are responsible for how people perceive you, right? What kind of artist are you? Are you writing into a void? Are you just coming up with something you wish people would like, but they can't relate to it, right? I mean, I remember Pat Pattison, one of the quotes I love from him, I guess he's still at Berklee School of Music, but he said that writers tend to write into vague territories of meaning. And I think that's true lyrically. I think a lot of times writers don't understand how to write really powerful titles and hooks, and then they don't write into a particular genre. They're just they set a lyric to a melody and think, okay, that's cool, but it really is genre-less. Can you speak to that as a producer a little bit, Bryant?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's. Well, repeat your question real quick, just because I was.
You were
following
spacing
along, but
on
I was
me. You were
spacing.
spacing.
I'm gonna
You
be
were
honest
saying
real quick.
You were like not
You were
even in the
saying-
room.
I tried to go, and then, I was out.
You said that
that's
so
fine.
beautifully. We were like,
I was
It was
lost
a
in the
moment.
vague meaning
You
of
were,
the vague
you were.
the quote. Yeah.
Okay, let me
rephrase.
I will
Process.
rephrase. I withdraw the comment, Judge. Let me rephrase here. How do writers today stand out by understanding genre when it comes to creating their music, genre and powerful hooks, and not writing into vague territories of meaning?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I mean, I think going into your writing, when you're developing your career, your catalog, you're gonna kind of find where you land as a writer, right? Genre, whether you like to write country or pop or worship or whatever. I think that's just gonna kind of naturally happen based on your influences. But it's important to me, like if I'm going into a write, especially with other people, to know kind of what we're going for. So what are we going after today? Are we going after a corporate worship song? Are we going after a more indie kind of artist song? Something a little more, pop oriented, whatever it is. That really helps me to know as a producer, thinking like, where does this song need to land? What are the, what can we do to take it in that direction? So that's helpful to me for sure.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what did you say? I wasn't
Just
paying any attention.
vague territories of meaning.
Sorry, I was in the Bahamas for a minute. I don't even know what you just said, but no, what I heard you say is to be intentional, and to go into a writing session with a goal, what you want to come out with, corporate worship, etc., so that you know where you're going. And I think that's a lot of what we seek to do as we work with artists and songwriters here, is to help them be more intentional and to learn the craft of writing and not just feel like whatever they emote on paper is like direct from the throne of God, because it's not. Now, next month, the topic is, does God really give you songs? I can't wait for that.
Whoa.
I'm so excited about that topic. I think it's going to be fun because we all say, God dropped the song on me and I just want to get my songs out there. And, it's like it's all just so spiritualized sometimes that we forget that there is a craft and there are techniques and insights that we can use to be more effective communicators. And, paying attention is one of those, Claire. So
I heard you. I'm paying attention.
You were right there with me.
I was.
You didn't space.
No, I'm on top of it always.
I see who cares in this room. So
listen, you have a great last name like I do. You have to make sure you're on it all the time.
Ta-da. There you go. Drop that.
How those two things go together, we'll never know.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Well, all right. Well, this has been fun. Are there any other parting comments here about discovering?
Really quick, who's
publishing?
everyone's favorite songwriter?
What?
Ooh,
Oh my gosh.
Really quick? Oh, man.
That's not
I don't know if I
fair.
can go there that quick.
In what genre? What style?
Any of them. Give me, okay,
You first.
Christian or worship. How about we do that?
Yeah.
I can go first.
Okay, you first then.
Benjamin William Hastings.
Oh, fine.
Yeah. I have gotten to a point with his music that if somebody else cuts a song that he wrote on and I don't know it, I'll start listening. And it happened to me recently that I was like, this sounds like a Ben Hastings song.
Is this a Bethel?
No, he was with Hillsong for a little bit. And I think now he's with Bryant Essential, I think now. But an incredible songwriter.
Yeah. He's awesome.
Yeah.
I think if I'm thinking current, the last few years, Cody Carnes has put out just some amazing like corporate worship songs.
can't
Like
do a bad song.
he
You can't
literally
write a bad
every
song.
song he drops is something new
Yeah.
and fresh, and the way he's been writing the last like 5-6 years is incredible. He's a great writer.
Wow. Well, I feel so on the spot because there's so many that I
Wow.
love, you know? I mean, classically, Fernando Ortega was just a favorite, you know, from the 90s and 2000s. He's still putting out music, but I loved the liturgical influence. I just loved the more West Coast vibe that he brought. Man, so it's hard in today's world because there are so many. I really am partial to Sarah Kroger. I love Sarah's work because
She's
I think there's a depth there. I love her voice. She's kind of a modern Twyla. And Twyla Paris, do you guys know who Twyla Paris is? Yeah, okay. You sure? You are
remember.
kind of young, but
God is in control.
yeah.
I had like one song off of
God
Wow
is in control.
1998 that I used to
Oh my
play
gosh.
over and over again.
Her music just saved me. I loved it. And I
Yeah.
got to work with her some when I was at Star Song Records back in the
cool.
day. And
Nice.
so, but her music was really influential in how I learned to write and patterned a lot of my material after hers. So, but Sarah is kind of a modern Twyla for me. And so I really like Sarah. And I do like a lot of the modern songs, really do. Yeah.
Awesome.
We just had Mia Fields on the show, and Mia,
she's
she's a monster
incredible.
writer. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We're releasing a song that she wrote. Were you on that song? Nothing but the name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Justin Barnett and me and Mia. Yeah.
So we did a live recording. It's coming out. It'll be next year when that song comes out, won't it?
Yeah.
But it's a monster song with Mia Fields. She's just amazing. Wrote Chainbreaker for Zach Williams. I mean, let's just start there. We all need a chainbreaker.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for being here,
Yeah.
Claire
Yeah.
and
Love it.
Bryant. And thank you guys for being here on the show today. I'm going to kind of land this plane a little bit. I want to thank Kyle Kicker behind the scenes, and I want to thank our studio audience today, Shane and Heather, for being with us today, all the way from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Thanks for being here, guys. And thank you for being here. I hope that you will like and share this show and as many as you benefit from. Hopefully every week you tune in to Song Revolution. You are why we're here. Check out the show notes because you can find lots of groovy information down there on the bottom of that page. So we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us on today's show. If you got some value, please help us share the love. Leave a like and a share and a good review. Be sure to check out everything that we have to offer you at NashvilleChristianSongwriters.com. We'll see you next time.